Hey everybody, Black at You here. I wanted to come on and actually do a little bit of a different video here. Um, so I wanted to, well, what I was gonna do was make a sort of a criticism video based on who you see on the screen here, Ray Valentina, and it was based on I had originally saw a clip of her on Fresh and Fit where she said she does not like black men, right? And of course, like I wasn't necessarily like whipped into a frenzy, but of course, like when I hear something and I hear her tone, um, like I wanted to like who is this? You know what I mean? So then I came across her ex profile, and this video popped up, and I watched it, and I immediately like took notes about her. They were very critical. Um, not in a really. It's not. It was sort of. It was kind of neutral, but it was still more of a criticism on her. And then as I was about to make this video, um, I came across this interview that she had with Chrissy Mayer. By the way, shout out Chrissy Mayer. Subscribe to her. Watch the Simpcast podcast. Big fan. But I came across this interview that she did with her about a month ago, and it kind of changed my perspective about her in a very stark way. Um, we're gonna play this interview. She does play the video that she has on her X page. Fair warning, there's gonna be some N bombs dropped here. I'm gonna probably edit that out in post. But I more so wanted to highlight her her opinions and kind of where I fell along with them as I was listening to. I'm gonna basically try to like tell you how I felt listening to that video that she has on her X page and the video that we're about to watch now, which is her thing on the podcast. So we're gonna do that, but before all of that, of course, like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. Follow me on my socials. Follow me on my TikTok, my X. I'm more active on there than I am on my YouTube because YouTube is very oppressive. So let's get into this. Right.
um, if you're unfamiliar with Ray's work, my goodness, you're so funny. This is just a sample of the kinds of fun videos. We'll see what happens to. We'll see what happens, but this is a fun sample of your takes.
Watching all of these lose their EBT is hilarious. Nobody told these women to have multiple kids with multiple. And I also love how
Wait, where's my censored button?
Commit a crime on camera. Yeah, I know a lot of potty words. Shit, I ain't paying nothing. Y'all took my EBT. Okay, Shanika, you wouldn't have to steal if you were a productive person in society, and we all know does not fit that description.
Very late on the button there, Chrissy.
I have my censor button.
Get up on their fucking feet and stop depending on people to raise their niggas. EBT and all these enabling and making this
It is funnier without the button.
The chimp outs, they think they're entitled to free shit. Well, I have a word for you, Daquan and Shaniqua.
Damn.
Just get up on your feet and work like a normal person. And maybe try having less niggas.
Yo, fucking based, man. Seriously based. But yeah. So initially, when I saw that, right, these are the notes that I took. I was like, I struggle with this because these there are points that she's making that are valid. Um, However, what turns me off is the tone in which she's delivering them, and that's initially what I thought at first, is that the way she's delivering them, uh, like I said, she's giving very valid points here. Like, in the black community, we do have a lot of people who abuse, in the black community, mostly black women. Uh, it's the facts. It's the facts. Sorry, actually, not sorry. Facts here. A lot of black women abuse the welfare system and the EBT system. Um, a lot of them, and I see it all over social media. I've seen it all over TikTok. You have a lot of these black women who get on social media and they are very jubilant, joyous, almost bragging about the fact that they are abusing the welfare system. A lot of them, uh, with multiple kids, more than two, more than three. Um, I joke. I have this joke kind of when I say that they're running Ponzi schemes between their legs, and it is. That's kind of how I see it. Like, they're kind of running these Ponzi schemes between their legs. A lot of them with multiple baby daddies, and they do so because they don't want to. They don't want to work. They just don't. They want to ride off the coattails of said multiple baby daddies and the government. That's a fact, right? Um, but then, like, what I said was what was turning me off was the tone in which she was delivering them. I said I don't like tone policing. I don't like it because I feel like that's what a lot of women do. I hate it. But I said the manner in which she is delivering them uh, doesn't come from a place of I'm criticizing my people because I want better for them. Uh, I also said that she's coming. I said she doesn't see herself as part of the black tribe, and that she has dissociated herself mentally from that. She probably doesn't see herself as black. Um, I thought it was coming from more of a place of hate. Um, because she's dropping, you know, the nuclear N bomb multiple times. She's not even saying the GA. She's using the multiple. She's using the N bomb here. Um, but yeah, like, originally I thought this was coming from a place of a place of hate. You know what I mean? And I also said that, yeah, I said she doesn't care about black folks being better. She's speaking from a place of hate. So yeah, that's pretty much what I initially thought about her. And then I came across the interview here, which we're about to which we're about to watch, and it really drastically changed my perspective on her, and I found myself more so relating to her in a lot of instances. So we're not going to watch all of it. We're just going to probably watch the first, like, 10-15 minutes of it. But yeah, so yeah, let's get into the rest of this.
Oh my god, you're so funny. You're so funny. And like I'm a big free speech person, and I think anybody should say whatever they want. Like, I personally
I do agree.
don't say the N word much because, like, I just, for my personal comedy style, like, the juice is not worth the squeeze, I guess, and
Right.
I just don't really have a reason to. I would never, like, call somebody that. Like,
Yeah.
occasionally the word comes in a super chat, like, from people who try to push the envelope, and, like, if I ever do say it, it's in, like, a funny way, or I, like, change the way you say it. Like, I'm never hard Ring it. I just, like, for me.
Chrissy, you don't have to explain yourself. I know. Listen, I look, at my age, I feel like there are more important things for us black folks to be angry about. A word, a meme, a racist meme, picture, whatever. I don't care. There are more important things for us to be angry about. I don't give a fuck who says the word at this point or in what context they say it. I just don't. I just fucking don't. Anyway, let's continue here.
Me, I don't feel the need, but I think it's so.
I love saying the N word.
If you are black, like it is kind of you can get
You know
away
who
with
said
it
the
more
same
clearly,
thing?
and
Paul
it's
Mooney.
hilarious.
So do I agree.
When you do it, I have a friend Brittany Venti who's half, she's half, but like she looks completely white, which is why it's her sense of humor is pisses people off because they'll be like, "Who the hell is this white girl saying the N word?" But then they'll look and she'll always every time she posts a photo of her black mom, I'm like, "Up, what? Twitter's coming after her again for something." But I think you're
Never
so
fails.
funny and your takes are so kind of just
Based.
refreshingly honest. So I just
Fucking
want to know a little
based.
bit about you. Like, how did you come to be an independent journalist? How did you come to be on Twitter? And like, have you always had these kinds of takes, or
Yeah. So
yeah.
it all started. I'm gonna go back to when I was in middle school.
Let's hear the
Wow,
villain
This is
origin
like
story.
how I became like how I am. I feel like I've always been this way, but like So I'm in middle school, and I was so in love with Japanese culture. I
As
can
am
show you a
I.
room.
As
I
am
would,
I.
but I
I
can't
will
show it
agree.
right now.
Anime
But
and stuff.
yeah, anime. I have a whole shelf dedicated to anime. So
Okay.
I was in the Japanese culture, and I always respected their culture. I researched it a lot, and I'm like, and it just got to a point where I looked at my culture because I'm Black American. I was born here, and I'm like, why don't black people act like Japanese people? Because Japanese people
Mm.
are quiet, they're nice, they know what they're doing. You get
It is. That is a. Well, I understand where she's coming from with that. Like, because Japanese people, like, the culture is, they're very, very docile, very kind. Uh, like, they're mostly known for, like, their service. Like, they're very serviceable, um, just very sweet. I mean, now that opinion might change because you got motherfuckers like Johnny Somali, those influencers who go into these countries and they just, as they say, chimp out and fucking embarrass. They embarrass us. They fucking embarrass us. You know what I mean? Uh, just being a fucking public nuisance and just constantly harassing uh people on the streets and on subways and whatever. So I get what she's saying there. It's very, I think it's a little, well, but then again, I'm kind of reacting to this like, I get was why she's kind of saying that, but she's kind of having this thought more so at a very young age. So I can't really falter for it, but then like part of me, the part of me is like, maybe this is a little unfair, but like I get where she's coming from with it.
what I'm saying. They have their shit together.
I can't think of like stereotypically speaking two groups of people that are more opposite.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
that's how it came about. I was like, how come my people don't act like them? And I was like, man,
So
man, I'm radicalized now. And then there's just so many.
And I'm gonna say this, uh, where me, I'm gonna say like over the last, I'm not gonna say I've been radicalized, right? But what I will say is that a lot of the things that I see coming from our community, the black community, it disgusts me. It really does. And I see a lot of people who are egging it on, who are um who are kind of just like they're egging it on and kind of like justifying it, and I find it really and I find it really gross. Like almost, and they do so with this like this is who we are. Like this is who black people are. Like this is our culture. It reminds me of this. It reminds me of uh, the quote from the Boondocks where Granddad forces Huey to work at his restaurant, the Itis, and Huey is trying his best to get the restaurant shut down. More so, not really more so trying to get the restaurant shut down, but just trying to get his granddad to understand that this is very destructive to the food is very destructive to people, and that he says this food is destructive, and granddad says this food is your culture, and then Riley responds, then the culture is destructive. And that kind of this is kind of what it reminds me of. The culture as it sits now is very destructive, and it has such an influence on young black kids. It has such an influence on them, and nobody seems to want to do anything about it. Nobody seems to want to change it. We're just kind of letting it be. We're just I keep blanking out on the word that I want to use. Why am I blanking out on words? I do this every time I fucking make content. I blank out on words that I normally use, whatever. But you know what I mean. It's like people are just kind of giving the okay for the behaviors of the black community today.
Steps to me being radicalized. Like
Yeah.
because I used to go to a charter school, and
What
it
is
was
a charter school? It's just
it's
like, is it
just
like
a
a private
fancy,
school?
yeah, it's not a private school. It's just a fancy uniform school that
Okay.
practices IB curriculum.
We have
Oh,
those
we
in
had an
Jersey.
IB curriculum in my high school, even though it was public school. But I remember they were all
Yeah,
like trying to do international baccalaureate and
yeah,
all this college credits. Meanwhile, it did not. It got me zero college credits, and I did that
yeah.
2,000 word essay for nothing.
Damn, that's crazy. They were gonna make us do it, but I didn't do it because I left the school.
Okay, good for you.
So yeah, I got put into a public. Well, they're both public, but this one is the other one was more predominantly white. So there was a lot of controversy. Like if you got caught vaping at that school, that's how pretentious it was.
Oh
Did I
wow.
say that right? If you got caught vaping, it was like a whole thing. Like it was a big deal over there. But like at a normal school in Texas, if you get caught vaping, it's no big deal because everybody vapes.
I remember that. I remember that in my public in like my high schools that I went to. Not my not my the school that I went to for my senior year, because this the school that I went to for my senior year was predominantly white, but for a majority of my years in school, I mostly went to predominantly black schools, and especially like not in grade school, in high school, a lot of kids were doing like definitely doing shit they weren't supposed to be doing. Smoking, just skipping class, um, always like hanging out in the bathroom, hanging out in the hallways. Um, that wasn't me. Like me, I was always in the library. I was always in wood shop. I was always in computer in the computer room. That's always where I was. Like I was just away from that.
So yeah, that's what kind of school I was coming from. So I
Yep. My senior year of high school was very, very, very different from any other school I went to. Um, it was like I said I hated it because it was Jock University, and I was not like a fan of jocks and all of that shit. But to be very, very frank, like even the jocks were nice. Like everybody, I found myself being friends with so many people that I never ever thought that I would ever be friends with. You know, some of them were more on the popular side, They played sports. Some of them were more, yeah, like I found myself, and most of them predominantly white. You know, like I just found myself being friends with so many, different people in my senior year of high school. Again, I was in a completely different neighborhood, high school, what have you, and it was just, and I was like, I was the weird kid, like weird as in like more so the outsider. I was it's crazy. I was known for wearing like those very high like athletic socks, the ones that go up to your knees. I wore basketball shorts. I wore a hoodie and either boots or like sneakers to school. Like I didn't give a fuck how I looked. I really didn't. But a lot of people in my senior year, like especially in my yearbook, a lot of people recognize me for that. They remember me for how outspoken I was, how competitive, how like overly competitive I was in gym class, and it wasn't coming from a place of uh like it wasn't coming from this like malicious place, you know? Like I was noticed. As much as I didn't want to be noticed, I was noticed and I was liked by a lot of people. And looking back on that now as I'm hearing this, it's like I was very fortunate to have like experienced that, to go to a different school in a completely different um neighborhood and be treated so much, differently, but I'm rambling on. Let's continue.
Did you grow up in?
I grew up in Texas.
Oh, Texas. Okay, and you're there
Yeah,
now. Okay.
yeah. So Texas has a lot of Hispanics and black. Well, I think it has more Hispanics. Where I am in Austin, it has a lot of Hispanics. So I went to school with a lot of Hispanics and black people. That's the main amount troubling for me because the black and Hispanic students, not all of them, of course, but they were the ones who were acting up, you know.
Mm.
And I was like, why are they like this?
And I think that's kind of where one of my opinions kind of got blown out of the water, like where it kind of got dismantled. Where I said that she doesn't recognize herself as, where I thought she didn't recognize herself as black. How she disassociates herself, or even that she's speaking from a place of hate. Um, like just the fact that she recognizes, okay, it's not all black people that do this to each other. There are some that treat you with respect, but it's the majority of black people that do this to each other. It'd be your own people, man. It'd be your own people. Back when I was in grade school, or even in like when I was still in my freshman, sophomore, and junior year of high school, like I was picked on mercilessly. I got jumped. I got beaten up. I got clowned on. Um, just because like I was different from everybody else. Like I wasn't the hood black dude. I wasn't that. You know. Uh, I remember one of the jobs I worked at. Like when I shaved my head bald by choice. Like I got clowned on for it. Like and to me that's the real sad part about the black community, is that and she'll get into it, is that individuality is not celebrated in our community, is not celebrated in the black community. um you're you're told mostly through you're kind of through your peers are told to adapt to this way of living that everybody else is, which is ghetto, being ratchet, being abrasive, being um just combative, confrontational in all aspects, just loud, just obnoxious. You're taught that that is who you're supposed to be. That's how you're supposed to be, and everything else and anything else that is not that, you're basically not even considered a black person. Um, and that sucks. It sucks. And this is why you get a lot of people like me, like Ray, um, or even many of the more right leaning black influencers and commenters or content creators, because they were ostracized for not abiding by this status quo that that a lot of the black community seems to abide by.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I'm glad that she said that. I'm glad that she said that. They need to be better. And this is where I'm like, I don't think she's coming from a place of hate. I think she genuinely just wants to see better from the black community, and so do I. Like, when I talk about, like, I have a lot of like a lot of the white friends that I have, when I talk about the issues within the black community, like, I do it partially serious and partially with a lot of dark humor, but at the end of the day, I always want better for our community. I want the black community just to be better for the kids that are coming up. I don't want them to be influenced by all of this bullshit that they see on a regular basis. It's like we see it in that I don't know if you remember the situation out in Chicago where a group of these black kids jumped this mom, a black woman, a mother, and her kids, and she happened to be pregnant with sickle cell. Like, here, like, if racism is taught, that shit is taught also. And I think we as the adults in the black community need to understand that this shit is taught, and we need to rewire these kids' brains.
One production.
I find that aspect to be very ironic. You know what I mean? That back in the day, like, I was clowned on for liking wrestling. I was clowned on for liking anime. I was bullied. I was bullied because I liked wrestling and anime and cartoons and all of that. And anything pertaining to nerd culture now that shit is celebrated. Like, you have more attractive looking males and females who are into that now, who love it, you know? And I'm not clowning on, and I'm not taking a shot at them. You can like whatever you want to like. I just find that, I just find that to be ironic, you know? That the kind of people back in the day that otherwise would clown people like me, people like her, for liking anime, now love it. Tides have changed. It's that amazes me every time I think about that.
at our geek.
Yeah, I hung out with the nerds also. I hung out with the nerds. I was always with them. Um, and even still, like, even when I hung out with the nerds, I was always being bullied by the other people. I was bullied by the other cliques, you know. And like I said, it's weird now that those that people of those kind of cliques are now into what I've always been into. It's weird. Just that is just sad, man. That is just sad. I understand, like, it's crazy. The original sin of this country is racism. It's slavery, racism, whatever. But it's just weird. It's weird in the hood. Like, white people are seen as that. They're a lot of them would never interact with white people. Not in their daily lives. Maybe in the workplace, but they wouldn't. Maybe they would never on in a social setting. They just wouldn't. And just to hear how they, just what they think about white people now. Just the dynamic between black and white people now is just so fucked up. And it's like it, it's almost like black people live in this, like, just because they did it that means we can do it sort of mindset. But it's like they don't realize that two wrongs do not make a right. And especially a lot of the videos that I've seen lately, it just feels like it just feels like it's this weird dominatrix submissive relationship where you have black people who just say all of this horrible fucked up shit about white people, and you have these guilt ridden white people who just sit there and take it. And in some aspects, the videos I've seen, you have white women, like, kissing the boots of black men. In one video, I saw white woman kissing the boots of the Black Panthers, and I'm looking at this, and I'm going like, is this what the Black Panthers wanted? Like when the Black Panthers back in the day were trying to protect black neighborhoods from the from police brutality, excessive force, and all of that, especially when the FBI labeled them a terrorist organization, when they were trying to give black families and children uh like necessities and stuff to survive, when they were feeding black kids in breakfast in the mornings, taking them to and from school, getting them books and all of that. Like, is this what the Black Panthers foresaw the group going to getting to a point where you have the Black Panther Party just like just participating in this dom sub relationship with white people, just fucking, like, just just accepting this white guilt, this I don't like, it's just, it's disgusting. It's disgusting on both sides. Honestly, it is. I made a video about that. You can find it on the thought pieces playlist. It's called The Concrete Truth. Um, it's but this whole dynamic, it's just so phony. But I'm going off on a tangent. Let's continue. Yeah, I can relate to that. A lot of That's the thing about a lot of black folks, is that if you're not, it's sad that I'm even saying this, cuz it's like, it's kind of like how, like, the Hodge twins, like, how, or even just a lot of the right leaning black content creators, where they just feel like they've just been ostracized and just pushed aside by black folks. Like, they don't, like, black people don't even see them as black. They see them as, the Uncle Tom, the house and N word, the the coon just because they're different, just because they speak out against like the toxic aspects of black culture, and even Ray to an extent, like they probably see her as that. You know, here's the thing. I will what the if I could give one criticism to Ray, just one. Like again, I don't like tone policing. I'm gonna just say that you don't do yourself any favors in. Actually, no, no, no. I'm not gonna say that. I actually no. I'm not gonna say that. Just you know what? You keep doing you. You keep doing you. Criticize how you are, like because here's the thing I've heard. Here's the thing I've heard multiple times. I don't know who I originally heard this from, and I know it was someone black. It was like if you see if you see people acting like ends, you should call that out. If you don't want to be an end, stop acting like it. If you don't want to be seen as animals, stop stop acting like animals. It's really that simple. So I'm just so Ray, if you end up seeing this, ignore that prior thought. You keep doing you, like, cause I know how it feels. I've had like I've been basically pushed aside, ostracized by so many people. They're and mostly the left leaning ones, most of them black. Um, I think where where it really affected like I saw it when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and I went on Instagram and I was like, I posted a story basically saying it doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, that man did not deserve to die like that, right? And I didn't watch. I did at the time. I didn't see a whole lot of Charlie Kirk's content. You know, I saw bits and pieces here, but not enough to form an opinion on him, what have you. And I was called a coon. I said I was pandering to white people. Um, of course, all of them think Charlie Kirk is a Nazi. He's bigoted. He's homophobic. He's everything under the sun, moon, and stars. And it's like clearly these are people who a didn't take the time to watch his content, and b they just hate him because they disagree with him, and c they hate him also because they were told to hate him by other left leaning people and Democratic politicians or influencers, what have you. And that's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate because I mean, like I said, this is how my villain origin story, her villain origin story, this is how people end up, you know, either becoming Republican or independent. I myself, I'm independent, and I'm sure the people that are gonna watch this don't really care, don't really see me like that. Like, I'm sure that the ones that disagree with me are not gonna give a shit either way. They're gonna see me as an Uncle Tom. I'm pandering to white people. I'm this, that, and the third, and I'm whatever. And that's fine. I could give at this point I could give a shit. What I will say though is that personally at that time it hurt. It really fucking hurt. Like it really fucked with my mental state because these were people that I considered friends. And these same friends I heard say very fucked up shit about people, especially white people, right? And I didn't judge them for that cuz I didn't felt the need to judge them for that. I was like I don't care what they I judge them on the content of their character. That's what you're supposed to do, right? Isn't that what Martin Luther King's dream was? you don't judge on the color of their skin, but on the content, but by the content of someone's character. Well, it's the kind of, for me, I don't judge what people say. I judge based on the content of the character. And again, I thought these people were my friends because they kind of accepted me, who I am, and then to kind of now see that they don't really fuck with me like that anymore because of political ideology. It hurts. Because in the end of the day, none of this fucking bullshit matters. None of it. And I think this is where I get so fucking annoyed with uh the left, is that their entire being, their entire person, their personality, everything is defined by their political beliefs or their sexual orientation or their pronouns. None of this matters. None of this matters in the real world. And none of them I don't think truly understand that, because they are so locked in to that bubble. They're locked into their own echo chamber, and they want to be surrounded by everybody else that is like them. And that tends to really distort your worldview. That tends to really distort how you see things. Like, it really, like, you don't see yourself living in reality. You know what I mean? You just you're just living in this world that you just kind of created for yourself, and it's not real. It's funny because, like I said, I shaved my head bald by choice. Like, I had dreads for a while, but then I just buzzed it off, went back to being bald. Um, like, at the time, men having waves was like the thing, and I was like, I look at that and I go, yo, these guys that put in so much effort just to put waves in their head are no better than women who put who than when are no better than women who wear wigs, lace fronts. Just they're no better than women who have fake hair. It's not real. Just wear your natural hair. Like, what is so complicated about this? Just fucking Christ, she's based. But yeah, like I relate to that too, you know. But even now, I will say, even the alternative black girls are just like are really along the same line as the hood black girls. They're on that same line now, and it's not based on like interests or what have you. It's more so on the mindset. They kind of share the same mindset, where you're like, and it's like, I really don't understand it. You know, alternative black girls are like, they're more so supposed to be like counterculture to the hood black girls. And yet, in my opinion, I kind of see them as one of the same based on like the mindset. You know, they're more the left leaning mindset. You know, they push a lot of people out of their echo chamber just to keep each other in it. It's the same. It's all the same. They see that as a flex. That's the sad part. They see that as a flex. You know, I've seen so much uh I've seen so much content from those type of women, and they're flexing about the fact that they have multiple kids by multiple baby daddies, and they only see the baby daddies as a means of income. They don't feel like they need to work. It's just sad. It is so sad. I think that theory has some water. Um, I think, yeah, I think that theory has some water. Uh, I'm gonna just let's keep it a buck. A lot of black women do not know how to receive love. They don't. Um, a lot of them are very they're very aggressive. They very masculine, very like confrontational, and they don't really know how to receive. They don't know how to receive love. Um, it's almost like, and more so when they do receive love, they don't. It's like they don't know how to respond to it. More so, they kind of find ways to push it away further. Um, again, I don't know why. I don't know. I kind of have an idea as to why, but it's like I don't know. It's sad. Oh my God, is she speaking 1000% fact? I'm sorry. Fuck that. No, fuck saying sorry. Fuck that. She is 1000% right. I am fucking tired of seeing so many kids being pushed to the wayside because you have these parents, mostly black or Hispanic, who just continuously fucking spit kids out, knowing full fucking well they can't afford them. It's just they not even can't afford them. They can't even afford to take care of them, and that's why a lot of them depend on these baby daddies like that. It's just this endless cycle. It's just it makes me sick. She's right. Ray's fucking right.
You get what I'm saying?
But yeah, I'm gonna. But actually, yeah, I'm gonna kind of wrap it up here. If you want to continue, if you want to watch the rest of this, I highly recommend. Check out Chrissy Mayer's podcast, Simcast. Subscribe to her. Um, I'm gonna give a shout out to Ray Valentina. Um, I'm just gonna say, I understand you don't like black men. That's fine, but I'm just gonna say I get you. I understand you. Um, you have you have an ally. You have an ally, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I know how that is gonna make. I know people are gonna look at me a certain way for saying that. I don't give a shit. If you know me, then you know the kind of person I am and all that. So Ray, you have an ally. Keep doing what you're doing and all that. But anyway, I'm gonna head out. Y'all take it easy. Like I said, like, subscribe, share, comment, and all that. But until then, y'all take care and be safe out there.